What is going on, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to another Blu-ray update. All my pickups for September. I hope y'all are doing great and having a fun October watching horror movies. I know I have watched a ton. October is just my favorite time of the year to watch movies because y'all know what a huge horror nerd I am. Anyways, before we get into the video, you guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you enjoy anything and everything movies, especially horror, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button down below, along with the notifications bell so you guys don't miss out on any future videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I got a big haul to share with you in this video, 92 titles. A lot of great physical media got released in September that I had to jump on, along with a lot of other great finds. September tends to be the month where I really try to stock up on as many horror titles as I can find, so I have them to watch in October. So I do have a lot of that to share with you in this video, including like a lot of really cool exclusive horror steelbooks. I also mentioned in my video last month that I was really trying hard in September to officially complete my Blu Ray Disney collection. So we have a lot of Disney to go over in this one. And I think it's safe to say now at this point that I have every single Blu Ray that Disney ever released for like every Disney labeled title. So a lot of Disney to go over. A ton of A to Z. We got one DC Marvel. We have two Vestron titles. We have one Scream Factory and one Kino title, so that's pretty much it for boutique. A few series and a ton of steelbooks. So with that said, I think we've talked enough in this intro. Let's get started on the update. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start things out with Disney. Now, in order to complete the collection, I pretty much had to get every single release that has the Walt Disney or Disney Blu-ray or whatever label on the actual cover or case or whatever. And I know that there's a lot of other like titles out there like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, things like that are actually, distributed by Disney or whatever, however you want to say it, but they're not officially labeled Disney titles with the actual Disney label on it. So those are the ones that I say are official to complete a collection. So I did a lot of research online to make sure that every last title that had the Disney label on it for Blu-ray is now in my collection. So in order to do that, you tend to have to get a lot of stuff that you really don't care about. Titles that you'll probably never watch, just so you could say you have the official completed collection. So we're going to go ahead and start out with a couple of like documentaries here from Disney. First one up here is one called Morning Light. And a 2,500-mile journey that will change the course of their lives forever. It's a true life documentary. I don't know about these people that take this trip on a boat or something. I don't know. But there's that. And then this one here called Roving Mars. Another documentary. I guess something to do with space. Or I really have no idea, you guys. So continuing on with the non-slips, standard Amrays. I got this here. If you guys remember in my last month's video, I got a couple of titles from a friend of Craig's that takes movies that aren't on Blu-ray and he burns them onto a disc and makes copies of these movies. Well, I have a ton in this update you guys are going to see. But as far as Disney goes, I do have the Incredible Journey triple pack that I picked up from him. None of these movies are on Blu-ray, but you get the original one from way back in the day, The Incredible Journey, and then you get the two Homeward Bound films, which is really why I got them. Homeward Bound, Incredible Journey, and then Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. I wish, for the longest time, I was hoping that the Disney Movie Club would put these movies out, but they still have yet to do that. But so I picked this up from that guy. Next up here, we got the High School Musical movies that I probably will never watch for the rest of my life, but there's the first one and the second one. Another movie I'll probably never watch for the rest of my life, Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus, Best of Both Worlds concert. This is like, I think this is like the second Hannah Montana movie, And see, I don't know necessarily if this was like an actual movie or if it's just a concert. I have no idea. But it's got the Walt Disney up there at the top. The first one you'll see in a second, that one came with a slip. Now this one, you guys, is probably my favorite movie of all time. And that is The Cheetah Girls, One World. I mean, wow. This has got to be the greatest movie ever made in the history of the planet. Had to get it. Takes us to an early film for Shia LaBeouf, The Greatest Game Ever Played. A Bill Paxton film. Interesting. Based on a true story. I don't know Bill Paxton directed movies, but anyways, this one actually looks kind of cool. I forgot about this one, when I was going through the list of Disney titles, and I seen this one, so I had to pick it up. Most of these I got from either Amazon or eBay, but anyways, definitely interested in checking that one out. In the last Amore, we got Babes in Toyland. I know that there's like a couple different ones of these movies. I don't know if this is like the original or the remake. I'm looking back here and I can't find the year that this came out. Like usual, like I never can. But anyways, this is the main one that everybody knows. I think this is older, and I think the one before that is even older. I don't know. Jess was here. She'd probably know. But anyways, there's that. So yeah, all the Amores for Disney. Let's move on to the slips. So first up here, High School Musical 3, Senior Year, I guess it's called. I've mentioned this before. I hate when you got like a series of movies and some have slips and some don't, and then you can't put them all together on the shelf with the way I do it. But this is like one of those thicker ones, whatever. But yeah, High School Musical 3. Now here is Hannah Montana, the movie. So this would have been the first one. Again, I think this one is actually more an actual movie, where the second one is, I think, just a concert. But then again, it's not like this is like my specialty when it comes to movies. I don't know anything about this stuff. Okay, so the next stack I'm going to show you here for the Disney collection is a series that I wasn't really going to get at first because they're not really movies. They're, I guess, like documentaries in a sense. But since I went ahead and started getting all those other documentaries, I had to get this line. And this was difficult to find. To get all 9 of these with slips, it was a challenge, and I did it. I found them all on eBay, and for the most part, I really didn't pay a lot for these. I got really good deals on all these movies because I really looked hard. Like, I didn't want to go for just the first one I found. I really did a lot of digging, and I found great deals on every one of these with slips. So these are all the Disney nature titles. I think these are in order of like release. I'm pretty sure they are. I could be wrong. I don't know. But either way, let's run through them. So the first one up here is Earth. And they all got really cool slips. They're like a metallic look. So there's Earth. The next up is Oceans. And then this one is called The Crimson Wing, Mystery of the Flamingos. And then African Cats. This is kind of a cool line. I mean, if you can get them all and all with slips, I'm sure these look really cool on Blu Ray. And they might be interesting. Maybe one day I'll watch these, honestly. Wings of Life. Then we got Chimpanzee. And then we got Bears. And then next up is Monkey Kingdom. And then the last one here is Born in China. Now, there are, when I was looking them up, there are actually a few more in this series. But these are the only ones that were released to Blu-ray. Some of them, I think, are like DVD and stuff like that. So hopefully some of those other ones eventually do come to Blu-ray. But yeah, that is the complete collection for these Disney Nature ones. And now that I decided to go ahead and get them, which obviously if I wanted to complete the entire Disney Blu-ray collection, I had to get them. But now I'm glad I did, because it's a really nice set to have. If, like I said, if you can get the whole collection all with slips. So like I mentioned, you guys, I basically have every single Disney movie on Blu-ray that has been released. And then as far as 4K goes, I have been upgrading my Blu-rays to 4K that have been released on 4K. So, so far for Disney. And I'm down to only needing, I think, about 8 more 4K titles, and then I'll have all the 4Ks too. But like I said, I mean, I have the Blu-ray, so officially I can say the collection's complete. I just don't have all the 4Ks, but I'll get them eventually, little by little. Anyways, first up here, we got finally upgraded Frozen to 4K. I had the second one, just needed the first one, so I got that one. Then we got The Lion King, the animated one on 4K. And then Wreck-It Ralph. I already got the second one, just needed that one. And then the live action Cinderella. Beauty and the Beast. And then the last 4K I'm going to show you here, and then the last Disney title is finally to 4K, and that is Hocus Pocus. Got released in September to 4K for the first time, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, who is that? God, I don't think you guys have seen her in years. If you haven't watched this yet for Halloween, we definitely will soon. I'm definitely curious to see what it looks like on 4K. Okay, getting into A to Z titles now, and we're going to start with, Amrays. And this whole stack I have sitting here are more of those titles that I picked up from that guy, a friend of Craig's, who make these Blu-rays. Now, again, none of these are on Blu-ray, officially released titles. But he does a fantastic job. He does disc art, cover art, and the transfers are amazing. So I'm really happy to have a lot of these titles. You'll see some more in the horror category later when we get to that. But anyways, we got the 2 Brady Bunch films, a Brady Bunch movie and a Very Brady sequel. Love those movies. 3 Ninjas. Big fan of that as a kid. Ready to Rumble with David Arquette. Love that movie as well. Grandma's Boy, a title that I cannot believe is not on Blu-ray. It's like the whole Adam Sandler gang in a comedy without Adam Sandler. It's so funny. Dennis the Menace. Richie Rich, another title I cannot believe is not on Blu-ray. Adam Sandler, Little Nicky, one of the few Adam Sandler titles that aren't on Blu-ray yet. Beavis and Butthead Do America. Another title I just can't believe isn't on Blu-ray. And then this one too, you guys. This is one of my favorite movies. I watched this with Craig when he was here recently, and he watched it for the first time. But Kurt Russell and Breakdown, another title I can't believe isn't on Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm really happy to have these titles from this guy because, I mean, these are legit releases. Well, I won't say releases, but legit Blu-ray quality. And I'm really happy to have these, and I'm definitely going to keep, get more from him if I see some good stuff. So, and then the last Amray here is actually a title that I think he was making, and it actually finally did get an official Blu-ray release from Paramount. Was so happy to see this finally come to Blu-ray, and that is Howard Stern's Private Parts, a biopic on Howard Stern, starring Howard Stern as himself. I mean, he did a really good job, and I bet he had a lot of fun just kind of reliving his past and things like that. But it is so funny and just so well done. Just a great movie to see on Blu-ray finally. Now we're going to get into the slips here for A to Z, and actually every single one of them is 4K. First up here, new to 4K. Some of these are new to 4K, some of them are older, but this one came out in September. A movie that I still have never seen, that Craig and a bunch of other people tell me is fantastic, and that is Whiplash with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller. I really want to check this movie out. I'm not watching it right now, obviously, because I'm watching horror titles, but it's like a music movie. He's a drummer. Miles Teller is a drummer in here, and I guess J.K. Simmons is kind of like his drum instructor or something. But he's like just a total hard ass, I've been hearing. But yeah, looks like a great time. Definitely something I'm going to jump on right after Halloween. Another title came to 4K in September. Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Was so happy to hear when this got announced that it was coming to 4K. I love this film a lot, you guys. And to be honest, I mean, it's the beginning sequence, the basic training sequence that is just phenomenal. And then when they finally go over to Vietnam, the movie, in my opinion, tends to slow down a little bit. But either way, overall, I love this film. It looks okay on 4K, not the greatest transfer, but I'm still happy to have it on 4K. 21 Jump Street films, 21 and 22. I heard these movies are hilarious. Craig loves them. Still have never watched them, but they came to 4K in September, so I figured I'll go ahead and jump on them and get them into the collection because, like I said, I hear from a lot of people how funny they are. I remember watching the TV show back in the day a little bit, but never did see the movies. Home Alone finally on 4K, and why they didn't put part 2 on 4K, only God will ever know. But I'm pretty sure eventually it will. It's just, I just found it odd that they didn't get released at the same time, but I've checked it out a little bit. I haven't watched the whole thing on 4K because obviously I'm going to save it for Christmas. I just watched bits and pieces because I wanted to see what the transfer looks like. But overall, guys, I'm so happy to have this on 4K. Please, part 2 come to 4K soon. And definitely will be watching this whole thing on in December, as I always do. Takes us to Sausage Party on 4K. I enjoyed this film for what it was. I watched it like one time back in the day when I first got it. And I only ever owned the Target exclusive steelbook for this movie. I never did own the Blu Ray slip. So I found this really cheap on eBay. I mean, most of the ones that I found were actually pretty expensive, especially to get with a slip. I was seeing it go for like 25, 30, 40 bucks. So I wasn't going to pay that, but I kept looking and looking. I think one day, I honestly, you guys, I found this for like, I think something crazy like 10 bucks with slip sealed. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to grab it. But I think it's pretty over the top. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'll probably watch it again on 4K, but it's still something I just wanted to have for the collection just because of, I thought it was really unique. All these people got together to make this movie. I mean, it's just like an amazing voice cast in this film. And I wanted to have it. So this next one up here, I think I found on a Facebook group or something like that, but that's Liam Neeson in The Commuter. Still have not seen this movie either. I remember I owned the Blu Ray and I never watched it. Now I own the 4K. I'll watch it soon, after Halloween and everything. But I like Liam Neeson, and I've heard from a few people that this was decent. So another title I was looking for the longest time on eBay with a slip. Finally found one for a good price, and that is The Natural with Robert Redford. Cool baseball movie. Not like my favorite baseball movie in the world, but it's definitely a good one. So I wanted to pick this up. More 4K titles that came out in the month of September. I mean, we had a big 4K month for September, but the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., part 1, and then A Game of Shadows part 2. Still never seen these movies either. I've always wanted to. I love Robert Downey Jr., and so I figured I'd grab them. Cool new artwork on these slipcovers. And now the last one in the A to Z category here is a title that when they announced what's coming to 4K, I was so happy. It was definitely one of those titles at the top of the list that needs a 4K release. And I didn't know if we'd ever get it or not, but we did. And I was so happy. And that is The Goonies. One of my all-time favorite movies. And of course, it's like one of everybody's all-time favorite movies. If you're my age, grew up in like the 80s, you love this movie. Everybody does. It's just so fun. Just such a feel-good movie and brings back so many memories every time I watch it. I had this recorded back on VHS tape back in the day, and then I ended up buying the VHS, and then I got the DVD, and then I got the lots of different Blu Ray editions, steelbooks. I have the Goonies box set that they put out on Blu Ray, and now I got the 4K edition. They did put out a little box set / collector edition version of this. I'm been backing off a lot these days on box sets, so I didn't get that, but I'm just so happy to see this on 4K, and the transfer's pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. Not one of the best, but it still looked decent. So, all right, you guys, that's everything for A to Z. Let's move on. So getting into DC Marvel, we only have one. It's a DC title, the newest addition in the DC animated universe, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. So I never have much to say about these because you guys all know I never watch them. One day I will. I swear There's like 1,000 of them, and I will watch these one day. But I'm just gonna keep buying them because I get them for the collection. So that takes us to series. Got a 3 DC series here. First one up is the season 1 of Stargirl, a new series that they added to the DC line. And again, like the animated stuff, like I just never really watched any of these, and one day I have to start, but I will keep collecting them. This one definitely looks cool. Then we got season 5 of Legends of Tomorrow. I hear like so much about this show. Like everybody talks about that show being really awesome. And then season 5 of Supergirl. So cool. I mean, I really like this collection. These shows look really good. I've seen the most of The Flash out of any of these shows, and then like parts of Gotham, but that's really it, you guys. But one of these days, I just need to take a whole bunch of time off work and just binge watch the hell out of them. All right, so the last one for series here, season 2 of Stranger Things on 4K. So when these got released, they got released to Blu Ray and 4K at the same time. And the Blu Ray ones, they're both like the VHS look, but the Blu Ray ones came with like the VHS sleeve, and then the 4K ones came with like the clamshell looking type cases, and I only ever bought the Blu-rays of the two of them. And then afterwards I was like, I kind of wish I had the 4K ones. I found season 1 on 4K at, I think, Half Price Books a while back, pretty cheap. So I picked it up, and then this one I found off of eBay at a pretty good price. I was going to just get rid of the Blu-ray ones, but all 4 of them have different artwork. So I figured, they're cool collector items, so I'll just keep them all, just because they're all different looking. But I'm just really happy to have this show on 4K. It's pretty interesting that it got released to 4K. That's kind of unusual for series and things like that. Why 3 hasn't gotten a release yet on Blu-ray or 4K, I don't know, because it's been out for a while. And I think season 4 comes out soon. I don't know. I mean, who knows with COVID, but anyways, I wanted to get it for the collection. So getting into the boutique label stuff now, we got one Kino title, and it was one I was really excited when they announced that this was coming to Blu-ray. And that is a film called Gotcha with, what's his name? Anthony Edwards and Linda Fiorentino. A cool movie. I talked about this in the unboxing, as usual. All unboxing videos from September will be down below, so if you guys want to hear a little bit more about it, go check out that video. But yeah, just a cool movie, a favorite of mine that never thought would come to Blu-ray, and Kino never disappoints. Okay, so next up here are the Vestrons. I don't even know how long it's been since I had Vestron titles in a Blu-ray update, because we all know it seems like they fell off the world for the longest time. I never even thought they were going to come back. I thought Vestron was done, but they surprised the hell out of everybody, and one day they just popped up and they had 2 new titles coming out, one of which is just a total holy grail for me to come to Blu-ray. And what's amazing with these is, I heard that they were taken over more or less directly by Lionsgate now, and so they got released super cheap, like a third of the price that they used to be. Like $10-12, and they came with codes, digital codes, which they never had before. But anyways, so number 18 is Shivers, a David Cronenberg film that I've never really heard about, but I get all the Vestrons, so happy to pick that up. And then this one here, Little Monsters, you guys. I know you guys have heard a lot about these already. I did the unboxing of them and everything. But I'm just so happy to have this finally on Blu-ray, and who better than Vestron to put it out, and cool new artwork. It's just one of those favorites of mine from childhood that I'm so happy to see on Blu-ray, and from Vestron. So hopefully now going forward, Vestron continues to be more consistent with putting titles out. But yeah, 18 and 19 in the Vestron line. So the one and only Screen Factory I got for September, and that is the collector edition of Ghost Ship. Definitely a cool title for them that I was looking forward to. It's Screen Factory, they haven't really announced a lot of stuff recently. I know that they obviously just put up the big Friday the 13th box set, and I know they put a lot of time, money, and effort into that. As far as collector editions, though, we only really have two in the pipeline. I think one comes out next month, another Hammer title, and then January we get a title, but there's no collector editions coming out in in December. And it seems like they've been kind of transitioning over now to 4K. They've announced a couple of 4K titles from the collector edition line. Like they announced They Live, and they announced Prince of Darkness so far to 4K, which is cool that they're doing that. But I wish they would announce more collector editions that we can look forward to in the future. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what's going on. But anyways, a really cool film. Happy to have this. And I definitely will be watching this for October. All right, we are getting into steelbooks now. I got quite a few, mostly horror, but quite a big stack of steelbooks. First one up here is the only Marvel steelbook I have in this update, and that is Howard the Duck. This is the FYE exclusive. Now, this has been out for a while, and the reason why I didn't buy it right away is because a while back I picked up a Howard the Duck steelbook that I found on eBay it was like a different region, different country one, and when I seen that this came out, I thought it was the exact same steelbook. Like, I thought it was the same art and everything, and I was completely wrong. It's very different inside and out. I mean, this, for instance, that one was glossy, this one's matte, and then there's a lot of differences on the inside and outside. So I had to go ahead and grab it, just, being a different look. I love this movie, and this is a really cool steelbook. So there's the front, there's the back, with Howard sitting on the chair there. That's awesome. There's the spine, and there's the inside. So the only Disney steelbook that I picked up, I wasn't going to get this because I don't get a lot of Disney steelbooks, and I actually already had this movie on steelbook, the one that got released last year on Blu Ray when it got re-released. But after looking at this a few more times, I had to get on this. That is the new 4K steelbook from Best Buy of Hocus Pocus. Cool looking one. I love the colors. The one that came out last year, which is the book from the movie, I like a lot better, but this one's still cool. So there's the front, there's the back, the spine. The little guy's not in a happy mood today. And then here's the inside. Now, next up here is actually a pretty cool one. I got this off of Zavi.com, and this was actually released by Studio Canal, and that is the 4K steelbook of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And this is pretty cool looking, and the only way to get it on 4K right now, because they haven't released these movies on 4K here in the United States, but Studio Canal released it, and we all know 4K is region free. Like, there are different regions for the format of 4K. So I don't know if any of you guys didn't know that out there, but if you want to pick up something from a different country or whatever on 4K, get it, because it will play in any 4K player. But anyways, so had to get this steelbook. This is just beautiful. I love the cover. I like how it just says Wild Stallions on it. That's really neat. And then Be Excellent to Each Other on the back. Just love the look of this. It's like glossy and metallic. This is so nice. And this looks beautiful on 4K, you guys. No part 2 yet from Studio Canal, but hopefully they release one like this. But they actually released a standard edition of this with a slipcover. But I just went with the steelbook, hoping that at some point the US releases these on 4K. And then there's the inside. Next up here is the Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook for Goodfellas. This is one of those titles that when it got released to 4K, they didn't release a steelbook, and now they did later down the line. So, cool movie. I don't like it as much as Casino, but it's still a pretty badass movie. This is an awesome steelbook. So there's the front, there's the back, spine, and the inside. Next up here is the 4K Best Buy exclusive steelbook for Home Alone. This one's pretty cool. I got a few different steelbooks for Home Alone that they've released in the past, but had to get the 4K one. It's all right. Kind of a lot going on the cover there. We do have some embossing and stuff, but there's the front, there's the back. And I don't know why, but they gave this one like a like a scratched up look to it. It's kind of odd. There's a spine and the inside. The Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook for The Goonies. This one is kind of boring to me. They released a Blu Ray exclusive one a while back that is similar to this. I wish I would have done more with this one, but had to pick it up just for the heck of it. There's the spine and then the inside. This is a pretty cool one here, an FYE exclusive for Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I had Ferris Bueller's Day Off steelbook that I got from like different region or something, but I really like the look of this one. There's the back. There's the spine and the inside. Cool scene from the movie. And I like how when you open it up, how it all goes together like that. That's pretty sweet. This next one here is pretty badass. Another 4K exclusive Best Buy steelbook, and that is Full Metal Jacket. I cannot tell you enough how much I love the look of this steelbook. I love it how it's just the dark color with just the fire and the sunglasses, and then you flip it around and like that's what he's looking at. Just too cool. There's the spine. I like the orange on the spine, and then really cool shot on the inside. Now all the rest of the steelbooks here are going to be horror steelbooks. We got a lot of really cool stuff released exclusively in September. First up here is the original Halloween from 1978. This is a 4K exclusive steelbook from Best Buy. And this is probably my favorite Halloween steelbook that I have now. Just love the sepia look to it. Spine. And there's the inside. Another exclusive Best Buy 4K steelbook. This is for Evil Dead 1 and 2 in here. Love the look of this one. There's the back. There's the spine. And then you get 4K and Blu Ray discs in here, so they got that middle section here, but love the look of the picture on the inside. Another exclusive steelbook from Best Buy. This one, however, is just Blu Ray because this movie hasn't come to 4K yet, but this is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This steelbook is just incredible, you guys. The artwork on it. Wish this would come to 4K. Bet you it will at some point. And then here's the inside, which is pretty neat. You guys want to pause on that and read it. Another exclusive steelbook from Best Buy. Like I said, there is a ton. Of course, Blu Ray. Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. This is a really neat one. Freddy on the back there. There's the spine. And the inside. Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook for Beetlejuice. This one's neat. Not one of the best ones that they've done for Beetlejuice. I got a bunch of Beetlejuice, but this one's, it's okay. I like the colors. There's the back. Spine. And the inside. Now, next up here is definitely one of my favorites now in my collection here. This was released exclusively by Target, and that is the Blu Ray Firefly trilogy from the Rob Zombie movies. Just love the artwork on this. You get all 3 movies on Blu Ray in here. Of course, House of a Thousand Corpse, Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell. Love the look on the back there. There's a spine. Not much on the inside. Next up here, another Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook for the Invisible Man. This, of course, is the newest movie that came out this year, I think. Another one of those titles that got released to 4K without the exclusive steelbook and then got released later down the line. But this one's pretty cool. It's, you know, it is what it is. It's got a matte finish on it. There's the front, back, spine, and the inside. Kind of like a cartoonish look to it. And then the last steelbook here is the 4K exclusive steelbook from Best Buy of the original Psycho. This is a really cool looking steelbook. It's simple, but it's cool. Unfortunately, this did not get a standard slipcover release. It got released in the steelbook and then in an Alfred Hitchcock 4K set of like 4 different movies. I hope at some point we do get a slipcover edition of this on 4K, but in the meantime, I got this. I'm happy with it. So there's the front, there's the back, the spine, and the inside. All right, so that's it for steelbooks. As you guys can see, I got a ton in the month of September and mostly Best Buy exclusive. So, all right, let's move on to the last and final category. So I had to save the best for last, the horror category, since it's October, and just what I had to do. Now I don't have as much as I wanted to get, but to be honest with you guys, I mean, my horror collection has grown so much. There's not really a lot I need these days. I've been looking for newer stuff that gets released, but it's pretty much all these days. I mean, it is what it is. So, but anyways, we're gonna start things out with four more of these titles I got from that friend of Craig's that are titles that do not have Blu-ray releases. So first one up here is a movie that just scared the crap out of me when I was younger, and that is Fire in the Sky. It's that one that they say is based on a true story. I think that's what they said about this.
I've never heard of it.
It's the one where this guy gets abducted by aliens and they perform all these weird things on him.
You watched that as a kid?
Yeah, it creeped the hell out of me.
No.
It is, I mean, it's not like, I wouldn't call this like straight up horror, like sci-fi, thriller, whatever you want to call it, but it is creepy, you guys. It's just, wow.
Inappropriate stuff?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. We should show the kids and see if they can handle it. Rachel McAdams and how do you pronounce the guy's first name? Cillian Murphy or
I need to look at it.
Cillian Murphy? Red Eye. Again, just weird titles that you would think would be on Blu-ray and they're not, but that's more of a thriller, that one there. Panic Room, Jodie Foster. Oh God, do I love this movie, you guys. Dwight Yoakam, Jared Leto, Forrest Whitaker, and what's that girl in here? Kristen Stewart. What is she famous for? The Twilight movies? Yeah. Anyways, another movie I can't believe isn't on Blu-ray. God, I love that movie. And then Craig's, like, one of his all-time favorite horror films that he's been wanting to come to Blu-ray for the longest time, like through one of the boutique labels or just anybody for that matter. I know that he got this from his friend as well, but that is, of course, Alone in the Dark. Such an awesome movie. You get Donald Pleasance in here. You get Martin Landau, Jack Palance. Such a cool movie. I watched this with him a couple years ago when he was here, and I love it. It's just such a cool movie. But I got it on Blu-ray, kind of. So new to Blu-ray, a title that kind of falls in the comedy horror type deal, and that's Eddie Murphy and Vampire in Brooklyn. I remember watching this years ago. It's been a really long time, but I remember it being funny. Had to pick it up. Like I said, first time to Blu-ray from Paramount, so Exorcist, the beginning. So I picked this up because I had all the other ones, and I heard that Dominion was coming to Blu-ray for the first time individually. So since I had all the other ones and I knew that Dominion was coming, I had to pick up this one. This has been on Blu-ray for a while individually. But as you guys, I think my recent unboxing video, I got Dominion in the mail. So now I got them all on Blu-ray. All right, moving over to horror with slips. First up here is a Shudder original, a film called Z. You guys know I've been really trying to pick up a lot of these Shudder titles because they're pretty cool movies. Most of them come with slips, some don't. But definitely some really cool stuff. I've watched a couple of them. This one, no, I haven't. But I have watched some of them. But this one looked interesting. And usually if I can find it in store, I'll pick it up. Next up here is a film called Becky. This is a new release that came out in September. And I mainly bought it because it's like a movie that has Kevin James in it. And he plays like a psycho or something in this movie. It just sounded like a really interesting role for him. This is really the reason why I bought it. But I've kind of heard mixed things about the movie. I should definitely watch this in October. I probably will. Yeah, it looked cool. Really happy to hear that MVD was releasing this movie. That is Dahmer with Jeremy Renner. One of those true life serial killer movies that they released in like the, I think, late 90s or something like that. 2002, I guess. Late 90s, early 2000s, I don't know. This is the only one now that's come to Blu-ray. You know, there's like a Ed Gein one, there's a Bundy one, there's a Gacy one, but this is the only one that's got a Blu-ray now. But like I said, MVD put this out and with the slip. So interesting. I remember watching this back in the day, and then, you know, when I started watching the Avengers movies, I never put two and two together that Hawkeye is, you know, Jeremy Renner, who played Dahmer back in the day. So I thought that was interesting. Title here from Severin, Jaws 5, also known as Cruel Jaws. I've talked about this in the unboxing. You guys can go watch that video, but it's one of those like fake sequels that Severin put out that isn't really Jaws 5. They just took that title. But when I saw that this was coming out, I just had to get this. Next up here is a pretty cool looking title. This got released by Tempe Digital. Never really heard of that company. But a film it looks like a cheesy, I don't even know what you want to call this movie. But from 1990, Skinned Alive. I saw that Tempe Digital was releasing this cool edition of this movie, and I think it's autographed by the writer, director, and producer on the back here. So it's like a special edition. I can't remember where I ordered this from. I think I ordered this from a special website specifically for this company, I think. But cool new artwork on that. I don't know anything about this, but I heard it's just a cheesy good time from 1990. So with that and that cool new artwork, thought I'd give it a try, throw it in the horror collection. Another Severin title here, a newer release title, but an old movie. I think it's from like the 70s or something. The Beast Must Die. Came with a really cool looking slip. Don't know a lot about it, but I figured I'd give it a shot. You know, I wouldn't really say I'm like trying hard to build up my Severin collection. I have a few of them. I buy titles here and there that look good. So takes us to a new Orlando Bloom film called Retaliation. Revenge is Hell. Just one of those like revenge type movies. If you guys want to read the back here, if you can see that. But it reminds me of kind of like a Spit on Your Grave vibe. I don't know. But it's definitely on the list for October. It definitely looked cool. So, okay, that takes us to the last and final horror title and the last title in this update, and that is the only 4K horror that I have here. First time to Blu Ray, released in September. So happy when they announced this. Yeah, one of my all-time favorites. That, of course, is Tim Burton's Beetlejuice with Michael Keaton. Love this movie. Already watched it. Transfer looks pretty good. Nothing to scream about. Hey, you. I'm busy. You keep it down. I'll come over there. Yeah, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of you.
You just told her to stop.
Stop.
I'm yelling at her to stop.
Beetlejuice. What can I say about it? Who hasn't seen this movie? If you haven't, you're absolutely insane. Well, that'll wrap it up for this video. All my pickups in the month of September, 92 of them. I tried to get through the video as fast as I could, but 92 titles, it's going to be long. So anyways, drop a comment down below, you guys. Let me know what you think of the pickups. Let me know what you guys found in the month of September, and share the video around if you would. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.